Tipp FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage, puck on. It's time to change. Test drive the award-winning range of Peugeot hybrids and fully electric vehicles at Slattery's Garage today. See slatterysgarage.ie.
Now, John from Rosscray was speaking to Leanne, and he said he feels Rosscray is lost. He said it feels like a shell of the town it was. He misses the buzz of the town in his youth. He said the loss of SuperValu was the last straw for him. If he wasn't in his 80s, he'd move on. And James describes himself as a concerned father in Thurles, and he said, Fran, I did some research and I spoke to some young people, and a bag of cocaine would cost them €50 on a night out and will last them all night, and they won't have a hangover. It seems like a no-brainer to them. With the cost of a pint over €5, it's scary, says James. 083 311 3311. Now, the government has approved plans to ban the sale of disposable vapes and introduce new restrictions on other nicotine products. The Minister for Health, Carroll MacNeill, received approval to publish the Public Health Bill 2025. That's the Single-Use Vapes Bill, which would make it illegal for retailers to sell single EU e-cigarettes. Now, Derek Cagney has been a regular contributor to the programme, and Derek is from Modelling Vaping in Cahir and joins me now. Derek, good morning to you. I beg your pardon, that's Modified Vaping, I beg your pardon. How are you, Derek?
I'm good, Fran. Very good, thank you.
Good to talk to you. You've been calling for this for some time, Derek.
Well, sure. I genuinely think this was the straw that broke the camel's back. I think that these single-use disposables were so widely available that they were obviously a target towards the youth, and a successful target, as we can see.
So this idea then that the minister is pushing for this bill, it seems to be it's going to happen now. You think that's a good thing overall?
It's a very good thing, Fran. It's just, in my eyes, it's too little, too late. It should have never been allowed to evolve and to be so widely available to the youth. We're gone to a stage now where they've been on the market for maybe 7-8 years, and the people that did manage to get their hands on these disposables through different channels now are probably addicted to nicotine.
Which is really unfortunate indeed. We were very slow about this because my understanding is in Northern Ireland, for example, Derek, single-use vapes are banned there.
They are indeed. And look, you know, it's amazing. I sit back and I think about this a lot. Obviously, we've been in the industry. You know, it's amazing how the government were quick enough to get the tax off it and stuff that would attribute to the government as opposed to the people on the ground. As I said, it's far too little, too late. It's going to make a big difference going forward, that's for sure. But it should have been done years ago.
They're talking about future-proofing rules as well for other nicotine products, such as pouches, for example. To those who might have a clue what they are, would you just mind explaining what they are, Derek?
Yeah, they're actually called snus. I suppose they're very much like a miniature tea bag that goes underneath the lip. It releases the nicotine into the bloodstream very quick through the gum. They're relatively new. They've been out a couple of years, but they're now starting to get some traction. But I'd be strongly opposed to the fact that everything should be regulated. You know, the better it's regulated and the more regulations we have, the safer we are as well as an industry.
So would you go along with general regulation right across the various products then?
Well, I have no issue whatsoever, Fran, with any type of regulation that helps the industry that we're in. We've worked tirelessly to create this industry. I mean, Micheál Martin made a statement last week that he saw that vaping was the revenge of the tobacco companies, and it was the most nonsense statement I think he's ever made, because the tobacco companies had nothing to do with creating vaping. It's a separate industry altogether. Granted, they are now trying to get a slice of the
yes, they are buying into the industry, are they not?
Oh, they are. They are. And you know, to be honest, myself, I don't purchase any products that they produce because I feel like I'm supporting them, you know, and that I don't want to do.
Yeah, where this is going, I mean, you know, they're talking about the packaging as well. and plain packaging, for example. How will that affect the business? Will that be useful?
Fran, it's a known factor that vaping is a safer alternative to smoking. That's clear cut. The second thing is anybody that's vaping now, whether it comes in a white box, a blue box, or a pink box, they're going to continue to use their vape for nicotine. It might be less appealing to people passing a shop that can see bright colours in the window, but other than that, I mean, for me as a vapor, I don't care what colour the box is, you know?
You're going to still vape, obviously.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, Fran, without a shadow of a doubt. Even if I wasn't in the industry itself, I think I would be a vapor.
Some of the statements I'd love your view on. Some people saying, people who never smoked but now vape are addicted to
that's
nicotine.
A classic one.
Yeah, will you take that from me, Derek?
Yeah, I will. I'd love to answer that, actually. People that never smoked vape, the answer to that is people that never vaped smoked. And the reason I say that, had vaping not evolved or taken off, I do feel that the majority of people that are vaping now who never smoked would end up smoking. It was the case 30 years ago when I was in school, friend, that, it was really cool to go to school and meet the lads in the handball alley or the bike shed or whatever and have a cigarette. So if it hadn't been vaping, it would have been something else. I think your last interview that you done on the radio a few minutes before I came on quite clearly shows that,
Yeah, that's an interesting statement indeed. And would you take the other one that's often said that, people, if they can't get a vape, then they'll get a packet of cigarettes?
Now, that's the one I disagree with. Totally disagree with it. Because anywhere that you can buy a pack of cigarettes, you can buy a disposable vape. So granted, they may not get to the vape store or whatever, but if you can name one garage or one shop that you go into that doesn't sell a vape product these days, I'd be very surprised, Fran. So, for them to say that people that, can't get their hands on a vape will go in and buy a packet of cigarettes, that's a very poor statement, because everywhere that sells cigarettes now sell vapes. As we just said, the tobacco companies are coming in.
The other thing that's often thrown around is that, the people vaping, we have no idea what's in these products. Do you know what's in your vaping products?
Well, I clearly do with the products I sell, because all my products go through the HSE for testing.
Yeah.
So there is, what people don't understand in Ireland is there is huge regulations in place. So a product that comes into Ireland must be submitted to the HSE prior to selling for a period of 6 months. Once that product has been tested and deemed safe to sell in Ireland, it's then given an ECID number. Now, the problem we're facing as vape retailers is that there's so much product coming in that isn't being tested, this black market. And doing what they have done now with this huge hike on the taxation of vapes, they've just encouraged more of it. So,
because it's so expensive from regulated proper outlets like your own, that they will go to these. And are you talking about these pop-up places that we would see?
I'd be talking about a shop that sells multiple items. Like a vape store should be a vape store. It's as simple as that. A pharmacy is a pharmacy. A pub is a pub, an off-licence is an off-licence. They're not candy stores. They're not mobile phone shops. Your shop should be identified on the product that you're selling. So, I have several other shops around me that are not vape shops, but they sell multiples of other products.
Would you answer one other statement for me? The HSE seemingly doesn't recommend vaping as a way to quit smoking, and notes that the practice has been linked to sleep problems, mental health difficulties, and can damage a person's heart, lungs, and blood vessels.
I've done some research into this myself since it began, Fran. When I first started this industry, I was nervous myself that there may be a big backlash from all of this. So I've been studying and watching the UK very closely. They seem to do things correct no matter what it is, whether it's the infrastructure of roads or whatever the case may be. They spent 15 million on their first studies, on vaping, and even up to October of this year, they were putting in another 2 million into the University of Birmingham for further studies. They've yet to find something that proves these allegations. Whilst we all know it's better not to smoke or vape, the alternative of vaping is far safer than smoking. We don't have tar in our products. We don't have the 17 chemicals that are attributed to cancers. You have vegetable glycerin, propylene glycol, and flavouring, and your nicotine. So, this whole TPD that they've created back in 2014 kind of safeguards people if they use the right products.
And just a final thing, the prohibition of the retail sale of single-use or disposable vapes then, Derek, that's all fine and very well, but will people be still able to buy these on the black market?
They sure will, friend, the same as you can buy anything on the black market. It doesn't have to be vapes, it's anything. Whatever you delve deep enough into, you'll find it. My concern is they haven't covered the loopholes. They've said a single-use disposable vape to be banned. So what are the manufacturers going to do? They're going to change them from single-use to being able to use them 2 or 3 times. They'll supply cartridges that clip into them, and then they automatically come out of that bracket. This is the problem from day one, friend, that the government and these people making these huge decisions are not talking to the people who developed and created the industry to safeguard what we have here. They're just going on a wing and a prayer. Like anyone that's talking about vaping, whether it be on the television or whatever the case may be, these are people that haven't a clue about the industry.
There's a final one. Mary was on to say, I found my son with a vape with THC distillate. He's 16. I was terrified. I heard this is dangerous. I don't know how to approach the subject. I'm afraid of disciplining him and because that may make him do more. Teenage rebellion and all of that. What is THC distillate?
THC is a form of cannabis liquid. It's an extract of cannabis that they're mixing with liquids. Now this has been going on since for the last 7 or 8 years. Again, it's brought into the vape industry, which is absolutely nothing to do with us. It's just another way of administering it into the body without people recognising it.
And this is illegal, obviously.
Oh, totally illegal. And they try and bring out new formats of it every now and again, and it's on the market for 3 or 6 months, and then the government banned the next variant and the next variant and the next variant. The problem is we have a lot of wise guys or clever people in Ireland that think they can make it themselves as well, and they're buying plant material and they're extracting and they're mixing it with vape juice and they're selling it. And it's very dangerous, because these people that are mixing it and extracting it, they're not doing it in a pharmaceutical environment. They're not scientists. They're not, these are people that are just looking for quick money and easy targets like the youth.
Derek, great to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time this morning, Derek.
Many thanks for having me again.
Good morning to you. Derek Cagney there from Modified Vaping in Cahir. I think they have an outlet in Kilkenny as well. We'll take a break, back in just a moment.
Tipp FM's Tip Today.
With Slattery's Garage, puck on. It's time to change. Test drive the award-winning range of Peugeot hybrids and fully electric vehicles at Slattery's Garage today. See slatterysgarage.ie.